Welcome to Tax Teach. I hope you're having a great day. In this video, I want to talk about new reporting requirements and how these new requirements will affect online sellers. These new reporting rules are in place in 2022, so this won't affect the current tax return coming up here, but it will affect you in the next coming year. And I just wanted to bring that to light for people who sell products online. So let's get into it. To set some context, third-party settlement organizations, think PayPal, Venmo, eBay, really any organization that helps send funds from a buyer to a seller might be considered a third-party settlement organization. Whenever a seller would make over $20,000 in payments received from buyers and over 200 transactions, they would expect to receive a 1099-K from those third-party settlement organizations. The seller would receive one, and the IRS would receive one. What this helps the IRS do is track these payments that they expect should show up on these seller returns, and it just makes it easier for the IRS to track these payments. Now, in theory, if you made less than $20,000 and had under 200 transactions on these third-party settlement organizations, you would not receive a 1099-K, but you would still be expected to report those payments on your tax return. It just makes it more difficult for the IRS to really track those payments, and that's why the government came out with this American Rescue Plan new legislation, which I'll go over now. The American Rescue Plan Act changed it so now that instead of the $20,000 worth of payments you have to receive to get a 1099-K from a third-party settlement organization, now it's only $600. And the 200 transaction rule is just gone. So if you're a seller and you make over $600 in payments, you should expect to receive a 1099-K. And what that means also is that the IRS is receiving a 1099-K. And they're going to expect that payment to show up on your return somewhere. Two things I want to go over. One is if you're making personal transactions, those you should not receive a 1099-K for. Very common example is Venmo. If you're sending charges between your friends, whether it's for dinner or maybe some other expenses, that you shouldn't receive a 1099-K for. It's only when you're selling products and services and it's over that $600 threshold, you should expect to receive a 1099-K. Second thing is Form 1099-K is essentially reporting the sales that you received through these third-party settlement organizations. And it's your job as a taxpayer to report that amount on your tax return and offset that with any expenses that you incurred throughout the year. So you have that sales amount and any expenses that you incurred to create that sales amount. Make sure you have that on your tax return, whether you're an LLC in Schedule C's where you report your income and expenses. If you're a corporation, you do it on Form 1120. If you're a partnership, Form 1065. And another example, maybe you just sold one item throughout the year or maybe a couple items, but you're really not a business. You might report it on your Schedule D in Form 8949. Example is, let's say you sell a piano on eBay for $2,000. You might receive a 1099-K, and that is your gross proceeds. Then you would put that on Form 8949. And then the cost basis, how much you paid for it, and then you'd calculate the gain on that piano and report that in your tax return. Just be sure to keep in mind that the 1099-K is just gross amounts and that you're able to reduce that amount by expenses. And if it's a one-off item, you can reduce that gross proceeds by the basis of that asset, how much you paid for it. In summary, the American Rescue Plan Act enacted these new reporting requirements related to 1099-K and third-party settlement organizations, where if you as a seller sell more than $600 worth of products or services, you should expect to receive a 1099-K. Now this rule is in effect for 2022, so you don't have to worry about it this tax season, but come next year, next tax season, expect to receive a 1099-K. And don't forget to put that 1099-K amount on your tax return somewhere. If you don't, the IRS does have that 1099-K on file, and they'll have a discrepancy between what you reported on your return versus what they have, and you might get hit with a penalty and interest for underreporting your income on your tax return. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. It lets me know I'm creating quality videos for you all. If you want to watch videos like this in the future, hit the subscribe button. It keeps you up to date on videos I produce. And with that, thank you all for watching again. I'll see you next video.